is still here. I dropped the trailer on the ground just to spare the truck the taxing weight of this 88,000 pound machine. We're in position 3. It should be okay. Because now I had to drop my pusher. And put the air back in the suspension. And that's my pusher. That's the pusher, and this is the drives. I know it'll stop somewhere around. Oh, wait a second. We don't need this anymore. The PTO. I'll just go check the chains. I think that's the wrong way. Yeah, put it like that so that it doesn't hit the machine. And then sometimes you forget. Okay, so all the flags are still here. This is... I like these binders, guys. Except the paint. Check this out, brand new binders, the paint is peeling off. Very poor job with painting. But that's not, we buy them, right? We buy them. Those chains are always, they never get loose because so much weight pulls in here, right? The tire against this. And Oklahoma wants you to have your sign as practically as possible off the ground. And so I had to redo it. And then I noticed that my the bungee this cord on that side was already pretty much was hanging on the last thread, so I used this. Yeah, you see, that's the cord. It's pretty much just broke. So we're good. The sign is up. There's the one. In Oklahoma you don't actually need any lights, but I like to use at least the rear ones because then, you know. But feel like I'm not really oversized. It's just the bucket, you know. the bucket sticks out over here, right? Looks like we are good to go, Mr. Cat or Miss Cat. You be good. And so yeah, as I said in the update yesterday, it's okay, we're gonna turn on the AC in my favorite auto mode. And these flies are everywhere here. There's no food in the truck, you know, and still there's flies. Alright, now I'm gonna switch off my phone because I need to look at the truck stops. Sorry, I started to say that I've been here 2 days, right, since Thursday. Today's Saturday. And yesterday, by some miracle, I managed to get my Oklahoma permit. It was basically stuck inside the system, right? And nobody knew why it was not issued. And then finally I got it issued. And I had the taxes before that. So now I got both. What are you doing here? Go home. I hate flies, you know? And so yeah, so I decided what's the point of leaving yesterday then. I only have about just over 500 miles to go to Houston, and of course the port where I'm going, it's closed on the weekend, right? And as I always say, the rule I picked up from a Canadian truck driver manual: choose the lowest speed that will get you to your destination on time. That's the advice for truckers because of our high fuel consumption, right? And so I stayed here, and then in the morning I went outside, finally shaved off my beard, shaved my head, took a shower, got coffee, and now all I gotta do is just find, I forgot the name of the town of that, Loves. There's a Loves right at the bottom of Oklahoma on US 69, US 75 there, or 65, but anyway, so that's how I'm going, through a big cabin. And I think there's a scale before that, so I better stop and, you know, recheck all my chains and stuff like that. And hopefully today the plan is to get out of Oklahoma. Get out of Oklahoma and finally get into my last state, Texas. And then tomorrow the plan is to buy a computer. I already researched the locations of Apple stores and Best Buy stores inside Houston, and they open on Sunday. I found one that's right close to my route, pretty much near a truck stop where I can legally stop and then walk over, and hopefully they will have this in stock. But yeah, I'm tired of Windows. I'm getting back to Apple, and this video will be the first, well, not the first, you already saw a bunch of them where I lost the Kenworth Heavy introduction because it was getting too long and too boring. So while I'm driving today, I'm gonna come up with something like with a new intro, but I think it'll just be text over the video. So I like it better. It's just, you know, not it's not as boring as when you have a just text on black screen, you know. I like it when you see a video right away and then you have letters, you know, like SERGEI, DRATCHEV, Heavy Haul TV, stuff like that. But I want to come up with some text. Maybe I'll get back to SERGEI DRATCHEV heavy haul, since it is my operation, right? And we'll restart from the last episode, like the numbering, or we'll go back to heavy haul TV, or we'll just keep doing what I'm doing now, just names, right? Because you know my channel, SERGEI DRATCHEV, right? And I'll just use titles for each video, you know, without any heavy haul or SERGEI DRATCHEV heavy haul or Kenworth heavy. But I do like that heavy haul stuff in the name, and I see a bunch of people are kind of like copycatting, you know me, like heavy haul number or whatever. So, but again, I'm gonna make that decision today as I'm driving, and because I used up both of my micro SD cards to copy files from my laptop, from my Dell laptop, and I did 2 identical copies. So I used up both of my available micro SD cards, and so I cannot use the GoPro because I'm supposed to use this whenever I'm driving in the US, that nano dash cam. And so as I hang up after this, the rest of the video will be recorded and you will see the footage from the dash cam. So since the audio sucks from that one, I'll just do a voiceover after. Okay, let's go. Well, one of the last cab overs is right in front of you. This is Flying J in Anna, Texas. And I think that's international. That's like an old, very old international, all steel wheels. Yeah, international. I see at the bottom of the door, and the guy noticed that I'm filming. Well, don't drive a cab over if you don't want to be filmed. And the temperature is plus 43 Celsius, which I can tell you how much it is in Fahrenheit, but you definitely cannot sit inside the truck. And pretty much I went inside the truck stop, and they have a lounge and a TV room, and that's where basically this kind of temperature, that's what you're hiding. You don't need an APU. You either you know, idle your truck, or you go inside and watch movies. But they were watching some black and white, you know, old cowboy movies. I'm not a big fan of black and white, because my childhood was spent with 2 channels on TV only, and they were black and white, mono speaker. And the TV was called, the brand, I still remember, it was called Огонек, like a small fire, or flame. It's like a Russian brand. It was like this big, I don't know, maybe 14-inch screen. 2 channels. Oh boy. That's why I grew up with movies, by the way, you know, because you cannot watch a movie on a TV like that, right? So each chance I got, I was running to a movie theater, of course, which was all color, right? In movie theater, all movies are in color, and it's all stereo, at least. And I think it was like 20 kopecks, 20 копеек, 20 cents, you know, like movies were very cheap back in communist Russia. But that's how, maybe thanks to that TV, I became a huge fan of movies, and you guys can appreciate that. So eventually I became a YouTube content creator, right? But what I'm trying to do here, I'm on Google, and we're just doing a quick Celsius to Fahrenheit. All right, okay, come on. So 43. 109.4 in Fahrenheit right now. 109.4. But like I said, I'm okay. Like, I don't know why everybody, you know, like people have no clue basically about these APUs. Well, you need an APU. Well, maybe I need a submarine, right? And go into a deep ocean, you know, but it doesn't mean that I'm gonna buy it. You go inside the truck stop, watch a movie. When it cools down a bit, you come back into the truck. No big deal. Less than a gallon an hour when you idle. And as I mentioned before, in winter, I have a Webasto, I have a bunk heater. I have no issues in winter. I just start the bunk heater, and it works perfect. It's warm. I can draw the curtains if it's very cold. I can draw the curtains, you know, like cordon off this part of the sleeper. But actually, that's all basically nonsense. All these APUs, they're too expensive, they're too noisy, and they can cause a fire. Trust me. What I wanted to mention is that I wanted to do more miles today, but the minimum goal was to get out of Oklahoma. I did that. There were cops everywhere. The scale was closed. I didn't get a ticket. Everything by the book. Perfect. I entered Texas, and this 75 and 69 is very bumpy road. Very bumpy, you know, and I have a heavy load, right? So the truck goes up and down, and I can hear the suspension you know, either releasing air or getting air back all the time, you know. So the suspension was working pretty hard, and the temperature was so it's 43 is 109. The temperature was hovering above 3940 Celsius, which I think is about 105 F. So it was very hot, right? And after another set of bumps, when the truck was all of a sudden I hear a huge, extremely annoying, super loud atomic bomb strength whistle coming from the back of the truck, which remind me right away of my international truck days. But back then I know it was coming from under the door. It was the air dryer. For some reason it had that problem, you know. The air dryer, I think it was blocked or something, but it would start whistling and it was losing air. Basically the valve starts releasing air and then it cannot close, and it starts like very loud whistle. But this thing, what I heard today, and it happened like 4 or 5 times, it was like 3 times stronger. I'm telling you, it's like you have a feeling like something is gonna fall off or the truck is gonna explode, you know, like burp, but very high note, industrial strength, you know, nuclear disaster, imminent. Anyway, so first time I got scared, I stopped, and I ran to the back, and I can hear like the whole, even the sound is so strong that even the everything vibrates in there from that sound. Even the hydraulic tank, I put my hand on the hydraulic tank, you know, and I could feel it was coming from that valve, ratio valve. I put my hand on the ratio valve. I was afraid I'm gonna lose a limb, so I didn't keep it there for long. I ran back inside the truck and I dropped my air suspension. Nothing happened. The sound became quieter but was still continuing. Then I lifted my pusher axle, and so when the pusher axle was up and the air was drained, the sound started to boom, and slowly died, you know. I think it just probably overheated or something, I don't know. But so I waited 5-10 minutes, put the air back, everything is cool. But as soon as I go over the first bump, you know, like where the truck jumps up and so the wheels go down, right, again. So this happened like 4 or 5 times, you know. The last time I just stopped. I thought maybe I should, you know, let it cool down a little bit or something, and I check in the back, nothing is broken, all the hoses are connected. I parked the truck, I went to a gas station, grabbed some cold drink, walked back to the truck, started and drove on the freeway, and I figured, you know, that's it. No, before I drove on the freeway, I figured that's it. I wanted to reach Houston today, but this thing, it just, you know, not a lucky. I decided not to push my luck, and of course this is the weekend, everything is closed, right? And so I just looked where the nearest truck stop was, and it was this Flying J here on this side, on the east side. No, north is that way. West, on the west side of US 75 is Flying J. On the east side is Love's. But there's construction here everywhere, you know. And I need to do grease. I need to grease the truck. And also another problem showed up is all of a sudden my fuel restriction gauge shows 10 and more. Like when I'm climbing a hill, you know, it was sitting at like 3 and 5 for a very long time. Now I just noticed today it goes over 10, and the maximum is see, even now I'm idling and it shows pretty much what, almost 3, whatever it is. Well, I don't know what units those are, but when I was climbing a hill, this thing would just go like to 10 and even past 10 to like 11 or 12. You know, that means like I have 50% restriction, right? Because 20 is, that's it, that's maximum. But lucky for me, I do have these filters, right? Last time I did oil change, I asked him for this 2 fuel filters. I asked him to give me 2 spare fuel filters because I knew something like this would happen, because I noticed like this truck just likes, just like a cat actually. I remember on a cat, people were saying when I have an international that it's best to change them at least once a month, you know. And this thing is, I probably did 20,000 kilometers, which is what, like 12,000 miles, and now it looks like the filters need to be changed, you know. But you know, I pull heavy loads, right? I often go into like big hills, so the truck is working hard, so nothing's wrong with that. Like, so I'm gonna find a place somewhere. Like tomorrow, I'm only, I think I'm like 5 hours away from Houston. So tomorrow I'm gonna go through Dallas, and then jump on what is it, I-45, 49 towards Houston, and stop at the shopping mall there, buy a laptop, and then I can do this video properly and do the edit. And so this video is being recorded today on Saturday, and I'm gonna upload it Sunday. So I just hope that, you know, there's a shop in here, but Saturday they're closed, and I don't want to call like roadside assistance because that would be very expensive on the weekend, you know. So I just hope that this thing will, once it cools down a little bit, maybe it just got overheated, you know, because the truck, whole day today, the truck was going up and down. This road was pretty bad. This US 60 and then 69, 75, very bumpy. But this is the first time it happened actually, you know. But it's super hot. I don't remember last time I drove in such, when it was so hot outside, and the load is pretty heavy, right? But basically I gotta find somebody who can fix it. And of course, for them to fix it, this thing should whistle, you know. If it doesn't whistle, they will not, oh no, it's everything's fine, you know. So next time when I'm somewhere near a shop and it starts whistling, I'm not gonna stop and drop the suspension. I'm gonna make sure this sound continues so I can go to a shop and they can figure it out. But maybe, I just think it needs cleaning. Maybe there's some kind of filter inside, you know. Maybe filter got dirty or something. But this valve, I don't know, is it like less than a month old? But if it doesn't work, worst case scenario, we're just gonna disconnect it and revert back to independent suspension on the pusher, right, the way it was from the factory. Because this thing is just, maybe it's not that reliable, I don't know. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say at the conclusion of this video. So more videos to come, and I'm in Anna, Texas. Almost reached my destination. The obstacles continue, but I'm pretty sure I can overcome them and deliver my load. Thank you. Have a good day.